Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to the VUS Learning English podcast. My name is Anna, and I am so happy you are here with me today. This podcast is a quiet place. It is a safe place for you to relax and to practice your English. Today we have a very special topic. It is a topic about you. It is about something amazing that you have. Something powerful. Today we will talk about your brain. We will learn how your brain can be your best friend. We will learn how it can help you in difficult times. I want to thank you for choosing to spend your time with me, and it means so much. If you enjoy our time together, please think about subscribing to our channel. When you subscribe or when you tap the like button, you help our podcast grow. It helps us reach more English learners around the world, more friends just like you. I am always curious to know where you are listening from. Are you in Japan or Brazil? Maybe you are in Germany. Please tell me in the comments. I love to read where all my friends are from. It makes me feel connected to you. Okay, are you comfortable? Let's begin. I want you to think about a difficult time, a time when you feel sad or worried, a time when life feels heavy. In these moments, what do we do? Many of us reach for our phone. We look at our phone for help. Or maybe we open our computer. We think it will have the answer. But when your world feels like it is shaking, your phone cannot hold your hand. When you feel lost in a dark place, your computer cannot give you a hug. All the noise from our phones, the notifications, the messages, the videos, all the information we see every day. In the moments that are truly important, all of that noise goes away. It disappears, and you are alone. You are alone with your feelings. You are alone with your thoughts. The storm is not on a screen. The storm is inside your head. In these moments, only one thing can help you. It is not a thing you can buy. It is something you already have. You were born with it. It has been with you every second of your life. But maybe no one taught you how to use it. For many people, this thing is not a helper. It is a problem. It is the reason they feel panic. It is the reason they feel fear. It is the reason they feel doubt. I am talking about your brain. Your wonderful, powerful brain. In this episode, I'm going to share some secrets with you. These are simple, gentle secrets. Secrets to help you understand your brain. Secrets to help you take control of your mind. This will help you make your brain into a strong and loving friend. This is not about just thinking positive thoughts. This is not about saying empty words. This is about what to do when you feel alone in the dark, when there is no one to call, and no way to search for the answer online. This is about finding the power inside you. I learned this in a difficult way. A few years ago, my life looked very good from the outside. People looked at me and thought, wow, she is successful. I had a small business that was doing well. I was in a relationship. I had a nice home. Online, my pictures showed a happy life, a life full of success. But inside, I did not feel happy. Inside, a storm was starting. It began with my business. A big project failed. It was very, very bad. Losing the project meant I lost a lot of money. It was like a line of dominoes. One falls, and then they all fall. I started to worry about money all the time. This financial pressure was very heavy. I could not sleep at night. I would lie in bed and my mind would race. This created a feeling of anxiety. Anxiety is a strong word for worry. It felt like a slow, steady drip of fear. Drip, drip, drip all day long. Suddenly, I was standing in an empty apartment. I had a lot of debt to pay. Debt is money you owe to others. My future felt like it had disappeared. Everything I planned was gone. Overnight. What did I do first? My first action was to grab my phone. I started scrolling, looking for something to make me forget, looking for a solution, looking for anything to stop the pain. I searched online. I typed, how to feel better after failure. I typed, how to heal from a breakup. I typed, how to stop feeling anxious. The internet gave me many lists of advice, but the advice felt empty. It said things like, take a warm bath. Try doing yoga. Just think positive thoughts. This advice felt like a joke to me. My world was burning down, and the internet was offering me a nice smelling candle. It did not help. It made me feel more alone. The nights were the most difficult part. Lying there in the dark, my brain became my enemy. My brain was supposed to help me. It was supposed to be my friend. But instead, it felt like it was hurting me. It played a movie in my head, a movie of all my mistakes. Over and over again, a list of every time I failed, every wrong decision. There was a voice in my head, and it was not a quiet voice. It was a loud shout. The voice told me I was not good enough. It told me I had ruined my life. It told me everything was over. My heart would start beating very fast. I could not breathe properly. My breath was short and quick. I felt like I was drowning in my own fear. My body's alarm system was on. It was screaming, danger, danger. This fear was taking over my smart thinking mind. My body felt scared all the time. I felt like a prisoner inside my own head. I remember one moment very clearly. It still makes me feel a little cold. It was about 1 week into this very sad time. The clock said 3 a.m. I was sitting on the floor of my kitchen. The only light was the blue light from my phone screen. I was not looking at the phone. I was just holding it. I held this amazing little computer, this tool that connects to all human knowledge. And I realized something. It was useless. It was just a piece of glass and metal. It could not breathe for me. It could not slow down my fast-beating heart. It could not make the loud voice in my head quiet. It could not do the one thing I needed. It could not save me from my own mind. In that moment of complete sadness and despair, I understood. The real problem was not the money. The real problem was not the relationship. The real war was happening inside my own mind. And I was losing that war. I was losing badly. When you feel you have lost everything, something strange happens. You feel a little bit of clarity. Clarity means you can see things clearly. When you have nothing left to lose, you have everything to gain. That night on my cold kitchen floor was my turning point. It was the moment everything started to change. I realized my brain was not my enemy. It was a tool. A wonderful tool that I never learned how to use. It was like a beautiful garden that was full of weeds. No one showed me how to take care of it. My brain was just trying to protect me. It was reacting to problems. It reacted with a very old, simple response. This response is called fight or flight. It means your body gets ready to fight a danger or run away from it. This response is very good for surviving an attack from a lion. but it is not very good for modern problems. It is not good for losing money or a relationship. I had spent my whole life learning to use tools outside of me, like my computer, my phone, my car. But I had zero training for the most important machine in the universe, my own mind, my own consciousness. So I made a decision, a very important decision. I decided I would not be a victim of my own mind anymore. I would learn to be the leader of my mind. I became obsessed with learning. Obsessed means I could not stop thinking about it. I stopped reading simple articles online. I started reading deep books. I learned how the brain works in a simple way. I read about wise people from long ago. I read stories from people who survived very, very hard things. And as I learned, I started to see a pattern. A pattern is an idea that repeats again and again. I saw a set of simple rules. These rules appeared everywhere, in every book and every story. It was not a list of easy tricks. It was a big change in how you see your mind, a new relationship between you and your brain. From all this learning, I created a system, a simple guide for a strong and peaceful mind. I started to practice these rules every day, relentlessly. That means without stopping. These were not just ideas, they were actions. They were tested in the real world of my own pain. These rules helped me turn my brain from a place of fear into a place of strength. I call them the 5 steps for a strong mind. These are the 5 steps that pulled me out of my dark place. And I believe they can help you too. They can give you power over your inner world, especially when you feel like you are all alone. Are you ready to learn them with me? Let's go. Section 1. The first step. Watching your thoughts. The first and most important step is what I call watching your thoughts. This is the secret to stopping a spiral of bad thoughts. A spiral is when one bad thought leads to another and another and another. It goes down and down. Here's a very important truth. Please listen carefully. You are not your thoughts. Let me say that again. You are not your thoughts. You are the person who sees the thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Imagine you are sitting on a chair in a quiet room. Your thoughts are like visitors. One thought comes in the door. Maybe it is a happy thought. This is a beautiful day. Then another thought comes in. Maybe it is a worried thought. I have so much to do. They come in and then they go out. When you are in a difficult time, your mind makes many, many worried thoughts, catastrophic thoughts. That means thoughts about the worst things happening. Our normal reaction is to do one of 2 things. First, we believe the thought. The thought says, "You are a failure," and we believe it. Yes, I am a failure. This leads to feeling very sad and hopeless. Second, we argue with the thought. The thought says, "You are a failure." And we argue back, "No, I am not a failure. I did a good thing last year." This is like trying to fight with a cloud. It is very tiring, and you can never win. When you argue with a thought, you give it your energy, you make it stronger. Watching your thoughts is a completely different way. It is a gentle way. It is the practice of stepping back. You just watch your thoughts. Imagine you are sitting by a beautiful, calm river. Your thoughts are like leaves floating on the water. A leaf floats by. It is a thought. You see it, you notice it, and then it floats away. Another leaf comes. Another thought. You notice it, and it floats away too. You do not have to jump in the river. You do not have to grab every leaf. You can just sit and watch. This creates a little bit of space between you and your thoughts. This space is freedom. So how can you do this when you feel very worried? When a strong negative thought comes into your mind. For example, the thought, I cannot do this. Do not fight it. Do not believe it. Just label it. You can say to yourself in your mind, I am having a thought that I cannot do this. Or even simpler, just say, thinking. This little trick is very powerful. It feels small, but it is very big. It changes your view. You are not in the thought anymore. You are the person watching the thought. It is a small change in words, but a big change in feeling. Here's another thing you can try. It might feel a little silly at first. You can thank your mind. When your mind shouts, everything is going to be terrible. Instead of feeling panic, you can say, thank you, mind. That was a very creative and scary story. Or, thank you for trying to protect me, mind. I am safe now. I can handle this. I know it sounds funny, but it does two wonderful things. First, it recognizes the thought, but it does not give it power. You are the boss. You are in charge. Second, it adds a little bit of humor, a little bit of lightness. Humor is the opposite of serious, heavy worry. It helps to melt the fear away. A wonderful way to practice this skill is through meditation. Meditation is like going to the gym for your mind. It can be very simple. You just sit quietly for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes. You close your eyes and you focus on your breath. Feel the air come in your nose and feel the air go out. Your mind will wander. It will start thinking about many things. That is normal. That is what minds do. Every time you notice your mind has wandered and you gently, kindly bring your attention back to your breath, you are practicing. That is one repetition, one rep, like lifting a small weight at the gym. Each time you do this, you are building your observer muscle. You are training yourself to be the watcher. Scientists have studied the brains of people who are very calm and resilient. Resilient means they can handle difficult situations well. They found that in these brains, the connection is very strong. The connection between the thinking part of the brain and the feeling part of the brain. The thinking part can help calm the feeling part. Practices like meditation make this connection stronger. The goal is not to have an empty mind. That is impossible. Your brain is a thinking machine. The goal is to change your relationship with your thoughts so they do not control you anymore. Your mind will create a lot of drama, a lot of stories, but you do not have to believe every story. You can choose which thoughts to listen to. This is the first step to mental freedom. It is the first step to showing your brain who is the kind and gentle leader. You are the leader. Section 2. The second step. Doing small, hard things. Once you learn to watch your thoughts and not be controlled by them, the next step is to add something new to your life. This step is what I call doing small, hard things. The idea is very simple. You choose to do things that are a little bit difficult, a little bit uncomfortable. This is not about punishing yourself. No, not at all. It is like a vaccine for your mind. A vaccine is a small, safe dose of something that makes your body stronger against a future illness. You give yourself small, controlled bits of difficulty. This builds your mental strength. It prepares you for when big, uncontrolled difficulties come into your life. Because they will come. That is a part of life for everyone. Our modern life is very, very comfortable. We can make our homes the perfect temperature. If we are hungry, we can get food very easily. We can push a button on our phone and food arrives at our door. We have removed most discomfort from our daily lives. And what is the result of this? Our ability to handle difficulty has become very low. We are not used to feeling uncomfortable. So when a real big hardship happens, like losing a job or a health problem, it feels like a disaster. It feels like a 10 out of 10 on the stress scale. Because our normal life is a 1 out of 10, we have no practice. Doing small, hard things helps to recalibrate your system. It changes what you think is hard. There was a wise man from ancient Rome named Seneca. He would sometimes practice living a simple life. For a few days, he would eat only the most basic food. He would wear his oldest, roughest clothes. And he would ask himself, is this the thing I was so afraid of? He learned that he could not only survive it, but it was not as bad as his fear of it. His fear was bigger than the reality. We can do this in our modern world too. There are many ways. A very popular one is taking cold showers. Yes, a cold shower. When you first step into the cold water, it is a shock. Your body screams, "This is terrible, get out." But you choose to stay. You choose to control your breathing, slowly and slowly out. You calm your body even when it is uncomfortable. In that moment, you are training your mind. You are proving to yourself in a very real physical way that you can stay calm when things are difficult. You are in control. Here are some other examples of small, hard things. One is intense exercise. When you are running or lifting weights, there is a moment when you want to stop. Your mind says, "I'm tired. This is enough." Try to go for just 10 more seconds or run for just 1 more minute. You are having a conversation with the part of your brain that wants to quit. And you are teaching it to be quiet. You are teaching it that you are stronger than you think. Another example is intermittent fasting. This means you do not eat for a certain period of time. For example, you might stop eating at 8 p.m. and not eat again until noon the next day. Feeling a little bit hungry is a discomfort. When you choose to feel it, you learn that it is okay. It is temporary. You learn that you do not have to respond to every feeling in your body immediately. This builds discipline. Another one is waking up early, getting out of a warm, comfortable bed before you have to. That is a small, hard thing. Every time you do it, you choose discipline over comfort. You start your day with a small victory. One more example is a digital fast. This means you intentionally do not use your phone for a period of time, maybe for a few hours or a whole day. This forces you to be with your own thoughts, to be quiet. This builds mental endurance. Your mind gets stronger. The science behind this is very interesting. When you do these things, you make your window of tolerance bigger. The window of tolerance is the zone where you can handle stress and still feel okay. You can think clearly and function well. Doing small, hard things makes that window wider. So bigger problems do not push you out of the window into a state of panic. Also, doing effortful things is good for your brain's motivation system. It helps you feel good in a deep, lasting way. Not the quick, easy happiness from scrolling on your phone, a real, earned sense of well-being. The most important part is that the hardship is your choice. It is voluntary. When you choose your challenge, you feel in control. You are not a victim of the situation. You are the one building your own strength. You are sending a powerful message to your brain. I am the kind of person who can do hard things. Start very small. End your normal warm shower with just 30 seconds of cold water. Skip the snack you usually have in the afternoon. Each time you do a small, hard thing, you are making a deposit. You are putting strength into your resilience bank account. So when life makes a big withdrawal, you have something in the bank. You are ready. We are learning so much together. We have talked about watching your thoughts and doing small, hard things. We are about to talk about the next steps. These are about how to use these ideas in your real life. If you are finding this helpful, if you are ready to be the pilot of your own mind, not just a passenger, please take 1 second to subscribe to our podcast. It is a small, easy action. It tells the world that you want more content that helps you become stronger and happier. Thank you, my friend. Now let's continue our journey. Section 3, the third step, one small step. The third step is what I call one small step. The official name for this idea is radical focus, but I like one small step better. When you feel overwhelmed, what happens in your brain? Overwhelmed means you feel like there is too much to handle. Your brain starts to look at the whole big problem, the entire catastrophe. It shows you a list of everything that is wrong, the money problem, the lonely feeling, the uncertain future, all of it, all at once. Looking at the whole big picture like this is paralyzing. It makes you feel frozen. It creates a feeling of hopelessness because the problem feels too big to ever fix. The secret is to fight this feeling. You must choose to do something different. You have to make your world smaller, on purpose, ruthlessly. One small step is the art of ignoring the giant, scary problem and focusing only on the very next thing you can do. The next single, immediate physical action you can take. It is about taking the huge, terrifying idea of, I need to fix my whole life, and breaking it down into something very, very small. Something so small it is almost funny. Imagine you have a very, very messy room. It is so messy you do not know where to start. If you think, I have to clean this entire room, you might feel tired and just give up. It is too much. But what if you use the one small step idea? You ignore the whole room. Your only mission is to pick up one book from the floor and put it on the shelf. That is it. Can you do that? Yes. Okay, you did it. What is the next small step? Your mission is to pick up one empty cup and take it to the kitchen. Can you do that? Yes. Cleaning the room happens not by focusing on the big goal. It happens by doing one tiny, manageable task after another. Let's go back to my story. When I was sitting on my kitchen floor feeling lost, my mind was screaming at me. You have to earn all that money back. You have to find a new place to live. You have to find a new partner. It was an impossible list for that moment. The idea of one small step taught me to ignore all of that noise. The next action was not rebuild my life. The next action was stand up. Just that, stand up from the floor. After that, the next action was walk to the sink. Then get a glass. Then fill the glass with water. Then drink the water. These actions seem so small, they seem like they do not matter. But they are incredibly powerful. Each small action is a small win, a tiny victory. Each victory sends a signal to your worried brain. The signal says, I am still in control. I still have power. I can still do things. You are acting. You are not just sitting and feeling sad. You are moving. This creates momentum. Momentum is the feeling of moving forward. Making your bed does not fix your money problems, but it proves that you can create order in a small part of your world. And that small feeling of order gives you the mental energy to do the next small thing, like opening your computer. The next small step is not find a new job. That is too big. The next small step is open my resume file. After that, read one sentence of my resume. Then, fix one spelling mistake. This works because it helps your brain. It calms down the alarm part of your brain, and it wakes up the thinking, planning part of your brain. The thinking part of your brain does not like big, scary, undefined problems. It gets overwhelmed. But it is very good at solving small, clear problems. By giving it a list of simple tasks, you are helping your rational mind take back control from your emotional mind. You are putting the pilot back in charge of the airplane. So how can you use this in your life? When you feel that big wave of overwhelm coming, when your heart starts to beat fast and your mind starts to spin, stop. Take a breath, a slow one, and ask yourself this question. What is the smallest possible physical action I can take right now? What is one thing that moves me forward just a tiny little bit? 0.01% forward. Do not think about the step after that one. Just the one. The very next one. Is it to send one short email? Is it to put on your shoes to go for a walk? Is it to wash one dish in the sink? Whatever it is, no matter how small, do it. And then, only after you have done it, you ask the question again. What is the next smallest action? This is how you walk through difficult times. This is how you walk through fire. 1. Small, focused, step at a time. Section 4. The fourth step. Practice, practice, practice. The fourth step is about how to make these changes last. It is how we make them a permanent part of who we are. This step is what I call practice, practice, practice. Understanding this idea is like getting the instruction manual for your own brain. There is a wonderful word scientists use. The word is neuroplasticity. Neuro means about the brain and nerves. Plasticity means something can change and be shaped. So neuroplasticity means your brain can change. Long ago, people thought our brains were fixed when we became adults. They thought your brain could not change after childhood. But now we know that is not true. It is completely false. Your brain is changing all the time, every day. It is building new connections, and it is removing old connections. And what decides the changes? Your thoughts and your actions. Imagine your brain is like a big green forest, and your thoughts are like paths through the forest. The thoughts you think very often. The feelings you feel very often. The actions you do very often. These are like big, wide highways through the forest. It is very easy to travel on these highways. It takes no effort. So, if your normal reaction to stress is to panic, it is because the panic path in your brain forest is a superhighway. Your brain just automatically takes that road. At the same time, the path for a calm reaction. Maybe that path is very small. It is overgrown with plants. It is hard to find and hard to walk on. The idea of practice, practice, practice is this. You consciously choose to stop taking the easy highway, and you start to build a new path. You deliberately clear a new trail in your forest. Every time you practice watching your thoughts. Every time you choose to take a cold shower. Every time you use the one small step method. You are like a builder for your brain, a neurosculptor, a brain gardener. You are physically, literally changing the wiring of your brain. You are rewiring your brain to be stronger and calmer. But, and this is very important, it needs repetition. You have to do it again and again and again, consistent repetition. That means doing it regularly. Doing something one time is just an event. It is nice, but it does not change the forest. Doing it over and over again is what builds a new path. Think about learning English. Your motivation might be high some days and low on other days. Motivation comes and goes. But if you have a system, a discipline, if you practice every day, even for just 10 minutes, you are building a new reality in your brain. You are carving the English language path. Let's take an example. Imagine you want to build the habit of watching your thoughts. You make a commitment. For the next 30 days, you will practice quiet sitting for 5 minutes every morning, no matter what, even if you are tired, even if your mind is very busy during the 5 minutes. You just show up, you do it. Each time you sit down, it is like you are using a tool to clear the new path. At first, it will feel hard. The old busy mind highway is right there. It is so easy to take. But day after day, the new path gets a little clearer. The calm watcher state becomes a little easier to find. Why? Because you have physically built the road for it in your brain. This is the same idea that helps people do amazing things. Think about learning to play the piano. At first, your fingers are slow. You make many mistakes. The mistake path is very wide. But you practice every day. Scales, chords, simple songs. Slowly, you are building new paths in your brain. The play the piano path gets wider and smoother. After many months and years of practice, you can play beautifully without thinking so hard. The new path is now a highway. So, how do you apply this to your own mental strength? Treat your mental practice like physical practice. You would not go to the gym one time and expect to be strong. See your new mental habits as daily exercises for your brain. Track your practice. Maybe get a calendar and put a check mark on every day you practice. Seeing the chain of check marks is very motivating. When an old negative thought pattern comes up, do not just notice it, write it down. Then next to it, write down the new desired response, the new path you want to build. Doing this again and again helps your brain understand the new direction. The power of neuroplasticity is a beautiful gift. It means your past does not have to be your future. Your current way of thinking is not permanent. It is just your brain's current habit. And you have the power to change it. You are the gardener of your mind. It will not happen in one day. It takes patience. It takes kindness with yourself. It takes grit. That means courage and determination. But with every repetition, with every small practice, you are building a new mind, a stronger, calmer, happier mind. Section 5. The fifth step, you are what you believe. We have arrived at the final and most powerful step. This is the step that holds all the other steps together, like the roof on a house. This step is what I call you are what you believe. The official name is identity immersion. The secret to making good habits stick forever is not about what you do. It is about who you believe you are. Let me explain. Most people try to change from the outside in. They start with a goal. For example, I want to stop eating junk food. Then they create a plan. I will not buy any cookies or chips. But their identity, their deep belief about themselves, is still, I am a person who loves junk food and has no self-control. So when there is a fight inside them, they are forcing a new action, not eating cookies. But this action does not match their identity, a person who loves cookies. This fight uses a lot of energy, a lot of willpower. And this is why most New Year's resolutions fail. You are fighting against the deep, strong current of your own identity. Real, lasting change happens the other way. It happens from the inside out. It starts with identity. Instead of, I want to stop eating junk food, the focus changes. The focus becomes, I am a healthy person. You start to believe this new identity. Then you ask yourself, what does a healthy person do? A healthy person chooses an apple instead of a cookie. A healthy person enjoys going for a walk. The action is not a fight anymore. The action is just a natural expression of who you are. Instead of, I am trying not to be an anxious person, it's, I am a calm and disciplined person. You do not try to be something. You decide that you are that thing, and you start becoming it. Your brain wants to be consistent. It has a deep need to act in a way that matches your identity. If you believe you are a shy person, your brain will help you act shy. It will make you feel nervous in social situations. If you believe you are a confident person, your brain will help you act confident. It will help you feel calm when you meet new people. So this is a very important question. How do you change your identity? How do you change what you believe about yourself? You cannot just wake up one day and decide to believe something new. You earn your new identity. You prove it to yourself with small wins, tiny pieces of evidence. This is where all the other steps come together. Every time you choose to take a cold shower, you are casting a vote for your new identity. You are telling your brain, see, here's proof. I am a disciplined person. Every time you sit for 5 minutes of quiet time, even when you do not want to, you are casting another vote. See, more proof. I am a person who takes care of my mind. Every time you feel overwhelmed, but you use the one small step method instead of panicking, you cast another powerful vote. Look at this evidence. I am a calm person who can handle challenges. These small actions are your proof. You are collecting evidence for your brain. You are showing your brain your new identity is real. To make this happen faster, you can immerse yourself in your new identity. Immerse means to surround yourself completely. Here are some ways to do that. First, speak it. Use the words of your new identity. Stop saying, I am trying to. Start saying, I am or I do. There's a big difference between, I can't have dessert, I'm on a diet. This feels like you are restricted. You are suffering. And I don't eat a lot of sugar. I am a healthy person. This feels like a choice. It is a part of who you are. One is temporary pain. The other is your identity. Second, change your environment. Your environment is everything around you: your home, your desk, your phone. Your environment sends you signals all day long. If you want to be a reader, put books everywhere: on your table, by your bed. Make it easy to be a reader. If you want to be a healthy person, take the junk food out of your house. Fill your fridge with fruits and vegetables. Make your environment support your new identity. Third, connect with people who support you. There is a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you are surrounded by people who complain all the time, it is hard to be positive. If you are surrounded by people who are active and healthy, it is easier to be active and healthy. Find people who already are the way you want to be. Their good habits and positive minds will feel normal to you. When you truly adopt a new identity, when you believe it deep down, the need for willpower becomes much smaller. You just do the things you need to do because that is who you are now. A disciplined person keeps their promises to themselves. A resilient person sees a challenge as a chance to grow. It is not a struggle anymore. It is just you being you, your true, strong, wonderful self. So let's go back to that cold kitchen floor, back to me, feeling so lost and alone. My journey out of that dark place was not a big, fast jump. It was a slow, careful climb, and I used these 5 steps as my handholds, the things I could hold on to. I started with watching my thoughts. When the old familiar wave of panic came at night, the thought shouting, "You are a failure, it's all over," I stopped fighting them. I would just label them. I would say in my mind, hello, there's the "you are a failure" story. I see you. It felt silly at first, but slowly, it started to work. A little bit of space opened up, a tiny space between me and the pain. Then I started doing small, hard things. I started with the cold showers. That first splash of icy water was a shock. But as I forced myself to breathe slowly as I stayed in the water, I felt something I had not felt for a long time. Control. I was choosing this discomfort. I was in charge. When the feeling of overwhelm was too much, when I felt like I was drowning in problems, I used one small step. I ignored the giant mountain of debt. My only mission was to answer one email, or to make one healthy meal, or to walk around the block one time. One small step, and then the next. Each step was a quiet message to myself. It said, I am still moving forward. I committed to practice. Every single day. Cold shower, quiet sitting time. One small focused task. Most days I did not want to do it. My old habits were strong, but I did it anyway. I was laying down new tracks in my brain forest. Slowly, patiently. And finally, I focused on my identity. You are what you believe. I threw away the old story I told myself. The story was, I am the guy who failed. And I started to write a new story. A better story. A truer story. The new story was, I'm a person who can get through hard times. I am a person who learns and grows from challenges. I said this new story to myself. I wrote it down into a notebook. And most importantly, I started to act like it was true. I used my small wins from the other steps as proof. My cold showers and my small completed tasks were my evidence. There was no magic moment. There was no sudden flash of light. But one day, a few months later, I woke up. And I realized something was different. The loud, shouting voice of doubt in my head was now just a whisper. The heavy feeling of anxiety in my chest was replaced by a quiet, solid feeling of calm. The problems in my life were still there. The debt was still there. But my relationship to them had changed completely. They were not a monster chasing me anymore. They were just problems to be solved, challenges to be met. My brain was no longer my torturer. It was no longer my enemy. It had become my friend. It had become my partner. It had become my most powerful tool. We live in a world that teaches us to look for strength outside of ourselves. When we are lost, we look at our phone's map. When we are sad, we look for a movie or a video to distract us. When we are confused, we ask the internet for answers. We have built a world with amazing external power, but sometimes we forget about our internal power, our inner strength. The truth is, the most important moments in your life, the most important challenges you will face, they happen in the quiet space inside your own mind. And your phone cannot help you there. Your computer cannot fight that battle for you. These 5 steps: 1, watching your thoughts. 2, doing small, hard things. 3, 1 small step. 4, practice, practice, practice. And 5, you are what you believe. These are not just nice ideas. They are a map, a blueprint for taking back control of your inner world. They are the instruction manual for your own beautiful brain. Your brain can be a prison, a stormy, chaotic place that keeps you feeling trapped and small. Or it can be a workshop, a place where you can build yourself into someone stronger, someone calmer, someone you are proud to be. It can be your most powerful, loving friend, but only if you have the gentle discipline to guide it. Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes. Discipline is a system you build. The person you want to be in the future is not created by accident. That person is built by the small, conscious choices you make today. So here's my challenge to you, a gentle invitation. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now, today. Pick one small, hard thing. Just one. Maybe you can take a 30-second cold shower. Maybe you can sit in silence for just 3 minutes with no phone. Maybe you can do one thing that the easy, comfortable version of you would not do. It is a small action, but it is the first vote for your new identity. It is the first step on your new path. That is how you begin. That is how you stop being a passenger in your own mind and start being the gentle, wise pilot. What is the one small, hard thing you will do today? Do not just think about it. I invite you to write it in the comments below. Sharing your commitment with others is a powerful act. It makes it more real, and it can inspire someone else too. We can support each other on this journey. Let's start building our strong, peaceful minds together. Thank you for sharing this time with me. We have talked about so much today. We learned that our thoughts are just visitors. We learned that doing small, hard things makes us strong. We learned to focus on just one small step. We learned that practice builds new roads in our brain, and we learned that we can choose who we want to be. Please remember to be kind to yourself. Learning and growing takes time. It is a journey, not a race. Every small step is a victory. Keep going. You are doing wonderfully. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for listening. If this was helpful, please consider sharing it with a friend who might need to hear it. And a like or a subscribe always helps our community grow. I am so proud of you for investing this time in yourself and in your English. I cannot wait to talk to you again. See you next time, my friend.